Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
It's Thursday again, a Thursday night in the Riverbend where the Sea Shanty Sing-Along is already underway down at Morrison's Irish Pub. You're in tune to Riverbend Talent, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorst, sexy Matt Van Voorst of Macias Insurance. Also going on tonight, the open mic, possibly down at the conservatory. Never know if it's going to happen. It might, though, down there. Saloon to Ticks at Fast Eddie's until 10 o'clock. Nick Sturgis underway up at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville until 9. Toronzo Cannon at the Wild E Theater tonight at 7:30. Blues rocker there. And 10-String Dream right around the corner at Big Daddy's until 9 o'clock. Joey Miner, that's Hungarian right there. He's playing at the Barrel and Brew in Edwardsville until 9 o'clock. Drew Lance playing until 9 o'clock at Peel Woodfire Pizza in Edwardsville. Ryan Holting out at the cabin at Judy Creek until 9 o'clock tonight. Rogers and Neenhouse, they're doing the acoustics in the park in Pontoon Beach until 9:30 tonight, 6:30 to 9:30. They've got Hurricane, Music of the Scorpions, at the Mill in Granite City tonight in the Omega Music Open Jam, where if you sign up to be part of the open mic, you get a free beer and or whatever you want to drink at El Gato Tavern in Granite City. Ray Band underway out at Prairie Inn until 8:30. Jerry Duncan down to Long Shots at Fairmont Park in Collinsville tonight. And the band feel, where are they? All the way out in Omaha, Nebraska on a Thursday night. Tonight we were talking to, I'm not sure.
Some of Krickett and Grill Avocados plus
Agents of the Free plus Bush Fest. And how about
Gabriana.
Gabby.
Okay, so
The first face of
You
BushFest.
gotta introduce us as Gabriana, but yeah, Gabby is
The front
she
gate
goes.
of BushFest.
you're the front gate person?
Front gate.
You play a guitar or something?
No.
You're just a talented gate person.
Yes.
She likes to tell people what to do.
I tell people what to do all the time. Collect the money, tell people what to do.
I get to tell you to speak into the microphone.
Oh, sorry.
For that.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I was nice for a minute. Pigpen would have been flipping out. You're lucky he's not here.
She likes to catch people that.
You got to talk into the microphone.
Yeah, she likes to catch people that say that they are part of the band, and they're not.
Oh.
So they get in for free, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Well, what's your name? Who do you play
Yeah,
for?"
I have a list of everyone that's supposed to be in there for free, and then if they're not on the list, they don't get in.
And you wonder why I never get in.
Yeah.
I keep
You'd always get
She keeps them in
Come on
check.
now.
She does. She's been doing it for
Since 17,
2017. Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Figure
Oh,
it out.
you're
Yeah, but that's how long she
lifetime free pass for you, Dennis.
Well, I'm just finding out about it. So, so, Gabriana,
Yes.
is that the correct way to say it?
Yes. Gabriana.
I would not want to make you mad, gatekeeper. And we got Doug Bush. Say hello to the audience, so they all know your voice now.
Good evening.
You do not sound like Krickett. But
Hello.
we do have Krickett here. And the man. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
I got your mic turned on. Hit that talk button over there. See if that does it.
Which one's the talk button? That one.
That's it.
That's it?
Whoa, he
And
fixed it.
part-time radio engineer.
I don't need to be on?
No.
No. Right on. I'm good.
So the person we couldn't get on mic, please introduce yourself.
I'm Kevin. I do a little bit of everything. I'm mostly a janitor, though. I clean it up.
Guitar.
That's what I do.
Guitar, right?
A little bit of guitar, some drums. It depends on what band I'm claiming.
He hams it up.
That's
does.
Come
true.
on now.
So there's a lot
That's
of
true.
bands, playing at BushFest, which is what we're here to talk about. We're not here to test microphones, although
Part
we
of it,
have
yeah.
done that.
Part of what
Testing.
we're here to talk about. I guess there's probably something else.
Okay.
You tell me.
Well, to be honest with you, I thought we were talking about BushFest, so
We're talking about BushFest.
Awesome.
okay.
How long's it been going on, Doug?
Well, this will be the 18th. So the first
18 years.
First one was in 2008.
God.
Yeah.
Seems like a long time. Didn't it start in your backyard?
Too long. Yeah.
It's an adult today. 18 years.
What can you do at 18? You just
Barely legal.
You're just an adult. Yeah.
And buy lottery tickets.
Can't hear you.
You can't vote. Or
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, you start to vote. That's what it is. You can't drink though. So I didn't really look forward to voting as much as
You
drinking.
know what I miss about the original BushFest is the chili cook-off. That was the good stuff.
You know,
We had a
been a
chili
while.
cook-off out at Cottage Hills.
It's been a while
first
since
year.
we've done that.
I don't remember that.
Yep.
The first year we did.
Yeah, we had a couple of times where we even had rhinoceros that I
Yes.
made a trophy of and stuff.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, you can only do so much.
True.
And there are food trucks, and the food trucks don't really like the cook-off. You know, they're like, So
Now there are. Back
Yes.
in the early days, it was your kitchen.
that's true.
Right.
It,
It
was,
was his
my
kitchen, it
barbecue
was
pit and
And
Terry
everyone
Creek.
bringing something.
It was chili and it was Halloween candy, as I recall.
That's right.
In 4 bands.
Until I came along.
4 or 5
It was
bands.
chili, Halloween candy, and bread.
We'll always miss it, even though it's great. But that was one of
Crackers.
those things, man.
Mini
Backyard,
crackers.
yeah.
Don't forget the beer, Kevin.
Parking was horrible.
That's a requirement.
Yeah, but it was like a amphitheater almost set
It
up
was,
because of the hills.
Yeah, it was set up nicely. Yeah. It was hard to beat in that.
Wow, how did you get the permit to do that?
Yeah,
I didn't. Yeah.
It was back in the day when the cops would shut it down over here, right?
okay, we'll shut our stuff down. Can we do one more song? And actually, the cops would be like, okay, you sound pretty good, but that's it.
That's right. 11 is the
And
is
of
the
course,
max.
we would try and do 2.
It never worked. That was great.
yep. And then you moved to Humbert Road after that.
Humbert Road. The first one would have been 2011. I'm pretty sure. Could have been 12.
I drove by there the other day, and the cops were there, and there was a car like up against the house.
Oh, no.
my gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't smashed or anything. It looks like they hit the brakes right as they got to the
You
wall.
just can't have nice things, man.
But I thought about, wonder if they were looking for BushFest.
So many people.
They found it.
So many people think I still live there because there's the guy that bought the place actually rented it from us, and he has the Bush refrigeration trucks parked there all the time. So
Oh, okay.
people think I do refrigeration and still live there.
He doesn't.
It's like, no.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, I've gotten people ask me, to come over and help them out, fix their air conditioner and stuff. I'm like, I don't really do that.
Yeah.
I'm in a band.
So you did that
He's kind
out
of a
there
big
for a few years, and then where? Was it
Cottage Hills.
Cottage Hills?
Yep.
Cottage Hills moved there in 2018 and did the last one there in 2021. Right? Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
21 or 22.
You were looking for a place to camp.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a place where, you could kind of do your own thing a little more.
Yeah, the neighbors complained there too.
Yes.
I don't know if they did at a BushFest, but
Oh,
some of the
yes, they
stuff
did every year.
out there.
Yeah. The neighbors complain at Cottage Hills. We've never had a neighbor complain out there, but we have had them tell us that they could hear it. And they're like, a couple of them told us, yeah, we almost came out. Heard it and was like, yeah, but we could hear it so good from here we didn't need to. And I was like, you're
Right.
welcome.
So now you're at the farm,
At the farm. The funny
the
farm.
VFW Farm,
VFW Farm.
Yes.
which everyone thinks is Godfrey, but it's actually
Brighton.
Brighton.
It is Brighton, yeah. I mean,
Half of it's Brighton.
Yeah, it's like on the cusp of Godfrey and Brighton.
yeah.
But to me, it
Google
feels
cusp.
like Godfrey.
Google Maps
I get why
cusp.
people say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could just get across the cusp, they can't arrest me.
And then out past all the planets.
Yes.
The,
You go
subdivision
past,
with
you
the
go
planets.
past Springhaven and Tremont and just keep going.
North Humbert to Voorhees.
Yeah.
Matt Van Voorhees?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the speed limit
sexy,
slows
I
down
hear.
to 30 there, and if you do 30, someone's going to crowd up and be just like, and just you can't be doing 30 there.
Don't do 30. That's what he's saying.
But now you can camp. Right?
Yes. And
Legitimately.
camping is included in the admission.
Okay.
So,
So that brings us to the admission.
Mm-hmm.
$25 the first day,
yes.
Primitive camping.
$30 the second day.
Correct.
Gatekeeper, you want to fill us in on the prices?
Yeah, so 25 for Friday, 30 for Saturday, and we also have a $50 weekend pass.
Right.
So you can buy your weekend pass on Friday and be there all week. Or all weekend, I mean.
All
Unless
right.
you're bash, and then it's free.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And I got to find you a
which
Krickett
includes
grilled
primitive
avocado.
camping,
Sure.
as well as
And primitive camping.
access to
Yes.
every band that will show up, which is probably 15 to 20 bands, I'm
Right.
guessing.
I think it's 21.
21
Right.
bands. I stand corrected.
I was hoping you'd bring a flyer or something for me to read off of.
The flyer I think he has is on Facebook.
I started to write him
No,
down.
I have
but-
mine.
I started to write him
Pull it up
down, but I
faster.
figured you'd go through the list for me. So tell me who's playing at BushFest this year.
Would you like me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
We would
Want to do
like.
Friday?
Let's do it. Oh,
I'll do
we got an
Friday.
actual
Yeah,
lineup.
I'll do
here.
Friday. So Friday, music starts at 4:20, and we do have Mark Rice, who's in the band Mark and Angry Heart, and they're starting off. They're going to be playing. There's a couple of stages, and they're both down by the lake. The main stage is the next band, Mad Bailey's, 5:30.
Great band.
So we're gonna get great band, great mix of things. First time Brian Maloney is gonna be playing. I got referred to him by Jared.
So we're going like back and forth to the two stages here.
Yep. Yeah. So Jared, is it Enfried? I can't say his name.
What are we calling the first stage? The cabin stage? Are you having it set up?
I got
like
I
that?
got one that's called main stage and one that's called lake stage.
Lake stage. Okay.
Yeah. They're both by the lake though.
So Brian Mahoney, you say?
Maloney.
Mahoney from was that Caddyshack? No, sorry. Brian Maloney. There's a Brian Mahoney in Caddyshack. Brian Maloney, who is a first-time BushFest, artist. Looking forward to hearing him.
What time's he playing?
6:30.
And I'm sure you'll stay right on schedule.
Right. Well, I leave an hour, tell them they're going to play for 50 minutes. So.
Okay.
But then we got our good friend Josh Grassley and his band SIFSIC.
Okay.
Sometimes it's
Sometimes it's foggy, and sometimes it's cloudy.
clear.
Clear. Oh, it's both. It's either foggy or cloudy if you're me.
Back on the main stage, right?
Yes.
That's on the main stage, right?
And what time for that?
That's 7:30,
All right.
and then an hour later, 8:30 is Owen Weber of Olive. Great artist. Played last year, and really happy
Did an
to have him
acoustic
back.
set last year, blew my mind.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Real young kid.
I think
good
we
guy.
had him
He's
on
bound.
for
Yeah.
last year's BushFest.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. Yet to have Olive, but he enjoyed it enough last year. He said, "I'll come back by myself." And
So
nine.
he's
Go ahead.
go at what time?
8:30.
8:30. Okay. I'm seeing.
Next band is original band Liver Jones and the Flatworms.
Oh yeah, brand new album.
They did
Yes,
this a few weeks
yeah,
ago
yeah.
at the conservatory, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah,
And I think
Yep.
number 5, if I remember right.
that's right. Yeah, 5 albums. That's right. Then 10:30, and they're going to be on the main stage. 10:30 is the Peace Lords, and they are a few times return, but we always enjoy them. And then final band on the main stage is Spillie Nelson. So they're starting 11:30, and hopefully they stop around 1:30. So,
They might not until 3.
but it could be late. Hopefully they stop around 2:30. They might take a break in there, get some energy.
So I think we've had all of them on except the new guy, Brian Maloney.
Brian Maloney.
So we've had him all the rest on our show.
Yep.
Sometimes it's foggy, sometimes it's clear. Was
Yeah.
on recently.
Yeah, and they've all played BushFest before, so he is the newbie of the night for Friday. But we have
We
a
have
couple
2 more newbies coming.
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
Saturday.
We got a Saturday lineup then. Let's do that.
So starting at noon is Justus and the Experience.
And that's the lake stage.
Yes.
All right.
No, that's the hill stage.
The Hill Stage. Oh, you're going to change the name of it.
The lake stage.
Lake and the main stage.
Okay, well, I'm going off of Doug Bush's handwriting, so
Okay.
bear with me. And then at 12:50, we've got Bog, which is the newcomers.
Bog. Okay.
Yeah, their Facebook page is Bog House Band. But I listened to them, and they described themselves as having like a swampy kind of rock and roll sound, so that definitely interested me.
So
I got to hear it.
B-O-G?
B.O.G.
Yep. Yeah, like dog with a B.
Okay. House band. Writing that down.
Lake Stage is 140. Cerebral Anomaly.
Oh, man.
So-
there's-
Cerebral Anomaly. You gave me the hard ones.
that was a tough one.
Yeah, that's Rob McDonald and his daughter.
And his daughter, yeah. Yeah, they played last year, and that was awesome. She's got a great voice, and as we know, Rob can play, so they're good.
Okay.
220 on the main stage, Psychedelic Symphony.
Oh, everyone knows
And
him.
Johnny, Miss Stephanie, and Kevin.
Uh-huh.
320, Mathew Murder.
Miller. I believe. It's spelled like Mueller. but
Well,
I believe it's
I
Miller.
think he goes by Mathew Murder.
Thank you.
Mathew Murder, yeah.
Yes.
So he's on the flyer as Matthew Mueller, but yeah, he couldn't decide on which, and
Yeah.
ended up being Miller. So Matthew Miller.
That's so rock and roll.
Matthew Murder is his, I guess his stage name he's going with.
Yeah.
He's
plays
first.
mostly
He's
soft
He's a
rock.
newbie.
It's so much easier to remember.
He's a newbie to BushFest. After him at 410 is Like a Switch.
Okay.
From Bridgeton, Missouri, and they're awesome. And they're probably on the main stage or the lake stage.
Maine.
Okay, cool.
And then at 510, Scott Andrews.
Scotty Andrews just retired after 40 years in the aviation business with West Star Aviation. Congrats, Scotty.
Why would you know anything about the aviation?
I don't. So anyway,
Because he's a pilot.
Scotty
He can fly
He
a plane
introduced me to Scotty, actually. We
fix it,
played
too.
at Otten
and
Fest.
fix it. And so on.
Yeah, we played a festival called Otten Fest.
he did.
And I remember before we were getting ready to play, I was eating a taco and walking by, and this guy was playing with his feet.
Yes, still does.
He can play with his feet. with his
Controls all
Yeah.
the volume and everything with his feet.
Yeah.
He delays and violin bow across the guitar strings. He just does original stuff. He will do no covers.
Violin bow with his feet.
Yes,
Yeah, now
light show and everything. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Wow.
And he didn't play with his feet last BushFest. I mean, he showed up with Adidas
Maybe that's
on.
a
I'm like, I'm
request.
not sure how he's going to pull that off, but
He's good.
just what he can do with his hands.
it's
is,
really neat to
showstopper,
watch.
yeah.
Okay.
It really is.
Sounds interesting.
And then after him, this other band that we know at 6 o'clock on the main stage would be Krickett and the Grilled Avocados.
Oh.
I heard they're okay.
Yeah. We played at the amphitheater last weekend. It was pretty hot,
You joined
wasn't
us
it?
last year.
It was
so-
hot. It was HOT warm.
104 degrees in the shade.
We
I
didn't have
learned
any
how to
shade.
spell avocados thanks to you
Nobody
guys.
knows. Or Krickett. They always spell it with
I
either
know
a
how to
C
spell it.
You
or
spell cricket weird.
I didn't do it. Aunt Debbie did.
No.
Yeah.
2
Blame
T's
Aunt
and a
Debbie.
K. Or a K and 2 T's.
Yeah, Debbie.
It's just the way it goes. Datura,
Datura.
Oh, yeah.
Datura.
What time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. And those guys are good. We
Oh,
got to hear them
yeah.
at Trinity. It's the first time, but they closed off the music, and they made you want to stay. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
so good.
The lake stage for Datura, right?
Yes. And then at 8 o'clock, our good friends HOOKiE.
We know HOOKiE.
We know HOOKiE.
HOOKiE with a small eye.
HOOKiE monster.
10:05.
They got 2 hours, and then 10:15
Oh, 10:15. Sorry.
is our Shop and Save buddies.
1781, and this is going to be their final show for a little while. I think they're taking a little break, so make sure you get out and see them.
Now, what stage are they on?
They are on the lake stage.
Okay.
And then closing out the night at 11:15 would be Modern Pasta.
Okay. All right. We have the official list now, the official time.
Official, all the things will be
And,
posted soon.
I think all of them have been on the show except for a few.
Yeah, we've
it's-
got Mathew Murder.
He's been on.
Oh, he's been on the show, yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
What
his,
you want to say, Kevin?
his video did
Strangely,
really
Agents
well.
of the Free is not on that list.
Yeah, well, unfortunately,
We are probably either going to play after Modern Pasta, which would be super late, or we're going to play before them. But I didn't book us because good friend just had knee surgery. Brian Keith just had knee surgery.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So, something wrong with his landing gear.
I know Brian very well,
To use
and
an
if I
aviation
book us
term.
and he sees that we have a time, he'll push himself or feel like he needs to play. So it's not even going to, when we send it out, I think it'll probably go somewhat unnoticed, but, we'll see. That'll be interesting to see.
You noticed it.
Gab.
I noticed it.
Well,
I
because
already
Kevin's
knew.
used to playing 3 times because normally Trailer Park Troubadours are able to
Trailer
make
Park.
it.
Well, last week was Krickett in the Trailer Park.
it was. It really was last week. But
Which
that's,
was
it was
great.
so awesome.
But there's several of the Troubadours are out of town, so they can't do
Yes.
this weekend. So
Okay,
But
so
That's how it
Rich
is.
Pizzini possibly can make it.
I believe Richie Two Guns will show up. If that's just what he does. He has sax will travel.
okay. So yeah,
So we'll have hot sax with Richie.
And he's awesome.
Kevin's the one that's confusing to me because he bounces in and out of different bands. And so, are you like officially in Krickett in the Grilled Avocados?
Yes.
now?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I was supposed to be a fill-in guy.
Okay.
And
I was just supposed to
that
play
was
the
like
guitar.
8 years ago.
We're also
Well-
confused on what Kevin's in nowadays.
That's
so.
true.
Well,
Sprinkles himself
Not
around.
I.
the reason
I know which one.
The reason I bring it up is you lost a member.
We did.
Yes, we did.
Rest in peace, Andy Bensman.
Yes.
God rest his soul.
So I wasn't sure what the adjustment was there.
We have we've got a Trailer Park Troubadour that decided to take up the slack by the name of James Arthur Fox. We
Okay.
call him Jimmy Jam.
Okay.
Great guitar player.
Yep.
Also guitar player for Agents of the Free.
Oh.
Yeah, you met him. You know him, Jim.
Yeah.
Jimmy James and the Blue Flame.
Jimmy James and the Blue Flames. That's right.
I thought I'd seen a picture with him, but then I thought maybe that's Krickett singing with the Agents of the Free. I don't know what's happening
Yeah,
here.
it's like a collaboration.
It's like one band that's 2 bands.
Well,
At this
it's-
point, they just need to combine all
KGA,
of them.
There
AOF,
are- yeah.
TBT.
Oh, E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah.
There's a whole, doily of avocados.
There's about 10 people that are in
grilled
5
avocados.
different bands.
There's
is what
plenty
happens.
of them around.
What are we going to call ourselves today?
We do miss Darren sometimes, but I'm glad my son was able to fill in. That's fun.
That's fun.
It is fun.
We have to actually add songs to the set because we end up playing them everything so fast that it's like I don't know if you've ever done that. It's like we had 8 songs or 10 songs to fill up this hour, and we played 10 songs in 45.
Yeah, Mr. Bush
minutes.
likes to step on the accelerator pedal. That's for sure.
Yes.
okay.
That's just how it is, and it's bands. Everybody's got a different vibe. And that's just what it is.
And then Lorenzo was in there for a while.
He was Lorenzo
yes.
Small.
Yeah. I might ask him to play BushFest. He just didn't want to, it's kind of one of those things where he just wasn't wanting to play as much as we got to play. We booked a bunch of shows. He played some of them. He's like, he got a camper, and he's retired. And
Okay.
He's like, hey, I'm going to be out of town a lot. It's
Well,
like,
and
yeah.
he lost his mother-in-law too.
Right.
And that
was
kind
true.
of. And he was like, hey, he was taking care of her for years.
Yeah.
And he was like,
He was
we got a little bit
housebound.
of free time now.
He was
Time to
housebound,
use the
yeah.
camper. I think there was a lot of that, but he's still in contact.
He's still doing it, and he's
Yeah.
still playing.
Absolutely.
He is still out there kicking it.
Great musician.
So we haven't mentioned the date, October
Oh,
3rd
yeah.
and 4th
That's right.
That's
for
important.
BushFest.
First weekend in October.
So important.
Hopefully it'll be cool.
Oh, it's cool. Whether it's hot or
Nice.
cool, it's cool.
I don't
Down
need
by that
my
lake
That's
makes a
cool.
difference,
We
yeah.
just hope it's cold.
Right. Hope it's, eating chili and wearing a hoodie kind of
But you
cold.
said there wasn't going to be chili at this one. I hope there is. I really do.
We'll have 2 food trucks, JD's and Kia Maya will be there.
I better have chili is all I can say.
Hey, Kevin, I'll bring you a certain pot of chili just for you.
Ooh, sounds delish.
So plenty of food.
Plenty
But
of food.
if people want to bring some sandwich material, that's cool. You're
They can
camping,
bring
right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the VFW Post 13, it's pretty chill out there, which is great. Hey, yes, they have a bar, and yes, it'll be open.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
told.
And it's upgraded. There's an ATM. They have.
And their pickle shots are amazing.
There it is.
You know,
Make sure you give Heather and Teddy a hard time. They're wonderful bartenders. That are
If
out
you
there.
if you want to imbibe or not, that's completely fine.
we'll have
It's
some
a-
Jello shots. I mean, their Jello shots are strong.
Okay.
Motor oil's motor oil.
I mean, to
say.
tell you. I mean, my.
Anyway,
All right.
but they're pretty chill out there. So
Yeah.
and I mean, you kind of are out in the middle of a cornfield,
Right.
standing
Yeah.
next to a lake. So, but that's
And a
the
tank.
good part of it.
I don't think anyone's ever asked this question. Is fishing allowed?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Fishing is allowed.
Yeah.
Not like internet fishing, like
No.
actual rod and
Actual
reel
fishing.
fishing.
Like fishing.
Zepco
Yeah.
303, you know,
Yep.
fishing.
Bring
Right.
your worms or a crankbait.
Something else I wanted to mention. It is also a fundraiser again this year.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, thank you. One of the friends of the campers.
Yeah, very near dear friend. She comes up to the bar. I mean, we can go ahead and say her
Yeah,
name.
she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while we didn't let her know
Yeah.
that we were doing it in her
So I was
honor.
wondering why you were holding out.
We
on
were
it.
holding out because we
It was
were.
kind of a
It was
surprise.
a surprise.
It was
Okay.
a
It was
Wow.
a surprise because
So,
That's awesome.
but yeah, the
That's
peacock
kind of a big
so
deal.
it is a big deal.
The peacock
so
theme on the flyer this year is because she loves peacocks,
Okay.
and
Score
yeah, she's actually doing, good. It's
bonus.
not curable thing she's dealing with. So
Okay. We never mentioned her name. Though.
Debbie.
Debbie.
Yeah.
yeah,
Aunt Debbie.
no,
No,
I was gonna-
no.
no, she
We
her name's
just-
Debbie. She's a
just
good
checking.
friend of Tex, and Tex and Frog that are down there introduced us to her.
Okay.
And she has spent a lot more time down there since she's recovering, hopefully.
Okay. So it's going to help her out with her bills and different things, and
Moral support. Yeah.
nice. I love it. I love it when we do charity.
As do I.
This is why we do this show.
That's
Is to let people know that why bands are important.
Yeah.
it is.
So we're gonna have some baskets.
We're gonna have there'll be a silent
No,
auction.
silent auction. Yeah, silent auction.
50-50 tickets, all the
Yeah.
all the things.
So
We're also going to have vendors again this year, so they'll be lining pretty much the whole farm of just little goods that people make and sell.
Okay.
Vendors, yeah.
you
I
go.
said that. I said vendors.
She's doing good.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
she's doing real good.
I've never been on the radio.
So bring some money with you.
I'm
Yeah,
calling
bring
this
some money.
Because you obviously got to have tie-dyed T-shirts, right?
Oh yes, and tie dyes for sure. They're
Well, we do
actually
that-
drying as we speak.
There they
so.
are. There it is. So
She hasn't got angry at me
Yeah,
for
they're good
calling her
looking
the
shirts.
gatekeeper, so I
No, she
appreciate that.
enjoys being.
she's sassy anyway. It's
She
all
is.
Are we talking about me?
We
Yes.
are, totally. So there you go. That's the setup for BushFest.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Pretty cool. And how many years now at the farm?
Say this will be.
Third, fourth.
Well, it's at least the 4th, 22nd, 23rd. Yeah, the 4th. Yeah, and it's
counting
been
on her
great out
fingers
there.
over there.
I mean,
See that? She was counting on her.
yeah. I mean, it's close to
same
much
thing.
as fun as you can have as being in someone's backyard.
Right.
Because I mean, it's tough to duplicate that. I mean, better parking for sure, better scenery.
And you can stay there.
But yeah, no free food.
No.
None of that's just
But you can stay there. You could just sleep in your car
Right.
or pitch a tent
And it's
and
like
be safe.
not like an hour drive out in the country.
Not at all.
No, it's
Not at all.
It's close.
Right there.
It's very local. Yeah, yeah.
So
It's not easy to do actually to have a festival. I mean, especially you kind of want to be out a little ways, rather than just be in the middle of town for a festival.
Or in the middle of your backyard, like Humbert was.
Yeah, Hubbard was something else. It was a good area to do it, but the parking wasn't good, and
Noise complaints.
yeah, it was just like nobody but us enjoyed it.
That's really what
People
made
that were
it.
there were having a great time.
That's really what made it fun, though. I mean, especially on Eugene, that
Yeah.
natural
I mean,
amphitheater, and
Yeah.
you know,
We'd have
the
gals in their
So
hair
what-
rollers
so what
coming
time's
out.
the cops showing up tonight?
The cops would be there before dark,
Oh,
and they'd just look at us. It looks like you guys are just having fun. I mean, there's a noise ordinance, so we kind of want you guys to turn down.
11 o'clock.
But they would look
stop.
around, and they're just like, well, I guess they're going to make noise, but we're not going to kick all these people out of here until it's a little late, then they'd show up, and it closed it down. You'd have to tell someone they couldn't play, and
Every year.
yeah.
You had
But
a
it was
lot
still
more.
fun. Yeah, it was
You had a
still
lot more
great.
problems on Humbert Road than you had on Eugene. There was a couple of.
Well, we had
It was the
yeah.
neighbors.
Once we started having practice on Humbert,
They showed
they
up
had their
almost
they,
every
like,
time.
they had their guard up. They were like, yeah. It was like as soon as they started hearing music, it's like, call them up. Get them out here.
Oh no, someone's having fun again.
Yeah.
Got to
Sound
quash
familiar?
that.
Did you ever had a practice space that didn't work out? Because
Oh
of-
man.
There's got to be some stories.
There's plenty. I was actually sitting here thinking that we always made the cops show up no matter what event we were playing at. But of course, we had like 4 felons in the band too, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I bet that was a nice treat.
We only had 4 members. So
Yeah,
5. He said 5.
Oh yeah.
yeah. We used to count who had the most felons. So no, but yeah, we were loud. So yeah, cops always showed up when we played. Now the last place almost all our practice places we got away with it. It was only when we play outdoors somewhere.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I just figured it because we were horrible. So people are like, it's loud and it's terrible. Get the cops out there. That was my opinion, but
Just too damn loud. Too darn loud.
for sure. But so far, so good out at the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. We're out there and good friends. The first year actually was kind of one of those things where it was just like, okay, well, we'll see how this goes. And there was a lot of pushback. As closer it got, there was more pushback. And then the day before, I'm like, I'm not even sure we're going to do this with all the these like, well, you can't do this. No, you didn't, blah, blah, blah. And it was everybody was kind of grouchy. And then it went off without a hitch. And they're like, then from then on, like this year, we were kind of kicking around locations just to do something different. And I guess word got around, and somebody called me and said, "Yeah, you guys got to keep it here." And I'm like, "Yeah, we didn't mean to." I was a little drunk when we were talking about locations. Hold on,
Yeah. Well, that's
Super
good,
classy.
though.
Super. Yeah.
just a little.
Well, at least people know where the VFW Farm is now. I had
Yes.
never even
Yeah.
heard of it 4 years ago.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Agree.
100%.
Yeah.
Which is that's got to be good for the VFW,
very
and
good for
isn't
the
it?
VFW.
Isn't that the point?
It is. It's part of
let's
it.
benefit the
It's-
VFW also. So
Yeah, the farm is was actually donated by
Voorhees.
the Voorhees,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
It's-
they donated that land there. That's right.
yeah, so try and keep it going.
Sounds good, man. Glad things are working out there.
Yeah.
Lots of bands. Whole bunch of them. 2 days worth. Cheap. $50 for the whole weekend. That includes
Bucks for the
camping.
whole weekend. Many different genres of music.
Lots of
You don't
vendors.
just have to
and-
be a metalhead
Right.
country or whatever it is. And
Yeah, don't think Cottonmouth's going to be there. So,
Unfortunately,
I
yeah.
don't think it could
We
slide
thought
in
there
there.
for
We're
a
not
second
going
there,
in.
right towards the end of you guys' playing time. It was like, oh, if we could just get Cottonmouth out. It's
I
like,
know you tried for years, but it seemed like we always had something going on
Right.
whenever that was
Yeah.
happening. So,
Yeah, we tried in every way. I mean, we were like, whatever we could do. It's like, it's free food. Hey, man, we'll let you guys play whenever you want. We'll let you play as long as you want. And you're like, will you pay us as much as we're getting paid if we go here? And we're like, no.
yeah, I don't. That must have been Darren.
No
'cause
can do.
I always played for free. I didn't care.
No.
If
It wasn't really the money. It was more like we're booked. We already have
That happened a lot.
Yep.
That or we lived so far apart that we couldn't get it all together.
Yeah.
So
Did you guys used to practice out in Beneld? Was that where you started?
we did practice in Benel
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
short time at
Yeah,
Eric and Aaron's home,
I remember.
and then we got drums, and they didn't want to do that no more. So we found a new place. I don't remember exactly where we ended up next. Probably at my parents' house.
Seems
And then-
like it was in a garage in Kane. I might be making that up.
We actually played somewhere in Kane. Pigpen talks about it all the time because Mazo Christ,
Yeah.
which was, we won't
Scrappy
get into that
Spade,
name.
yeah.
But anyways,
I remember seeing Cottonmouth and Mazel Christ at Club 367. Yeah.
Something about chickens, though. He always tells a story about these chickens that were
I've seen quite a few.
apparently not alive
Yeah.
after we played. I don't know what was going on, but anyhow.
What did you want to say, Gabby?
Gabby the gatekeeper.
Why'd you have to put it on me?
Because, yeah, it's, you know.
We are still looking for vendors.
Oh.
So if you want to, if anyone listening wants to vend, you can go on our reach out to our Facebook page,
Or
Crickett's Facebook page, agents, moms or Crickets. Sorry,
Not too many pages.
BushFest is,
Y-
yeah.
there's so many pages.
We'll
You,
catch
you can
up
get
to
you
it.
can get all of it, all the information from any of the pages.
We get the alerts.
Okay. Sounds good. Facebook pages you're talking about?
Facebook pages.
You do the Instagram or what?
I think we should do an Instagram.
No.
I can do the Instagram.
I'm
Go
kicked
right
off
ahead
of there.
and take care of that
There you go.
because that's enough.
Great idea.
Social media out.
Actually, we probably wouldn't do this if it wasn't for Gabby and the help of Lillian, who's not here.
Yeah.
Her younger sister. Keep it going, because we would like wait until 3 days before it and be like, we haven't done anything.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
Danielle Wilkinson that does our T-shirts tells me every year we have to start earlier, Christy. We have to.
So how's that working out?
Oh, they're drying as we speak. Literally.
Drying.
Yes.
Cool.
With a
And then they'll
couple
be
weeks
printed.
left. You know,
Yeah.
We're not that close.
Then they'll be printed and they'll be ready for BushFest.
I love the
I said-
enthusiasm
There it
of the
is.
youth taking over
Yes, me too.
because, old people suck.
After the
That's
day,
me.
yeah, the day
That's
after
me.
this BushFest, we'll be trying to talk her out of doing it ever again.
Exactly.
But she'll be
The
21
very
next
day
year.
after, we're like,
Yeah.
no, this is the last one.
Become way less tolerant the older you get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just
Part of being
thinking,
old.
What kind of music have we not had at BushFest?
Death metal. Have you had that?
had a taste
We
of
definitely
that.
had
K-pop?
And 17,
K-pop.
We have
They're
K-pop.
metal, but
Ska. Oh, I'd
17,
love to start a
81.
ska band.
Spillie can do some reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
We've had jazz, right?
We've had bad jazz.
that's my favorite kind.
Mine too.
So,
Definitely lots of
Yeah.
country.
it looks like a little bit of everything on this lister that we just went
I
through.
wish we could have got
Reggae,
accidentally on
that's what we
purpose,
need.
seeing how he's my son. And we, the band practiced in our basement for the longest time. But like I said, some of the, some of them couldn't make it. So just like Trailer
Scheduling
Park
issues.
Troubadours.
Yeah.
That
It
happens.
happens, yeah.
Those guys are
Definitely.
good.
It opened
Hey.
up spots for the new guys to
True.
join in.
True.
Yeah.
And,
Now next year we're gonna have like 30 bands.
No.
Bog.
You better get
Denied.
girl.
You got Bog. I've never heard of that.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, like I say, when I listen to their stuff, it is swamp rock, and I like that. It's
Okay.
kinda easy
And you got a lake there, so makes total
You
sense.
don't know what swamp rock is?
I know what
Well,
swamp rock is.
What's that look about then? Ain't you
And-
talking enough, Kevin?
Didn't Skinner? Leonard Skinner
Am I
did.
hogging the mic for you?
Knock it off.
You're off the mic, so you're not hogging nothing.
Yeah. They can't hear you.
Leonard Skinner invented swamp music, right?
I thought it was
Swamp,
CCR,
swamp
actually,
music.
but
I
guess-
know they got a
I thought
song.
CCR
They
predated
do.
them a little.
Okay, well, maybe they did.
Maybe they did.
I think Muscle Shoals invented swamp
Yeah.
music.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Could call it Fame
Oh,
Studios.
the actual studio. Good point. Good point.
Well, I want to talk to the folks that listen in every week to see what's going on around this weekend, if you guys don't mind. You
Yeah.
want to chime in a little
It
bit?
is your show.
It's actually Pigpen's show. I'm just sitting in for him. And it's actually a Halpin Music show, and Matt Van Voris of Macias Insurance.
God bless them both.
Could not do it without him. We'd have been kicked off a long time ago, but the money's coming in. So
Score.
they keep us.
Thank you, Matt.
So, anyways, Psychedelic Symphony is hosting the Trinity's Way open mic on Friday night, the old Milton School. Talking about charity, raising money to clean up stuff. And you guys got a Trinity's Festival shirt on. Doug Bush.
Played at everyone so far.
All right. So, looking forward to that. Mila Duffy down at the the Irish Pub, Morrison's, Lone Lester doing the Flock on Friday night. And let's see, Track Band out to VFW, Porch Cafe out at Baker's and Hale on a Friday night. So that's the main area around us, and then we got some other stuff going on around Friday night, and that would be the Flying Burrito Brothers are in town.
Really now?
Part of them, yeah, and part of Poco.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this in Edwardsville, maybe?
It is. The Wild East Theater.
Awesome.
Theater. It's called Cimarron 615. So that's happening at the Wild East Theater. And across the street, the Old Corner Tavern, Jared Lutz, Derek Twesden, that's Jack Twesden's son, and Alex Huck playing at Sam's Last Chance Saloon's, what they call it now. Melodies across the parking lot at Backstage Bar and Grill on a Friday night. And there's a whole bunch more, including Spillie Nelson down at Deutz Village Inn in Pontoon Beach. I'm just going to kind of skim through the list. It's so long that it would just take a bunch of time. I want to get to Saturday. Italian Fest is happening down in Collinsville. That happens every year, and it's a big fun time down there.
Right downtown.
All right. And then we got Saturday. We've talked about this already, but it starts with the Alton Farmers Market. And Chuck's Grass is going to play at 8 a.m. He mows his lawn and brings it to the gig. I'm pretty sure that's not what happens.
Is that legal?
It might be. But you know who's in town? Gordo. And the reason is it's Mississippi Earth Tones this Saturday.
Yes.
So we've got the Gordo Sandwich, and the meat this year between the Gordo Sandwich is a Steely Dan tribute band. Yeah, how about that?
Big fan.
Any Major Dudes, the name of that band. Of course, Jake's Leg is going to headline that. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Spillie Nelson opening that up at noon. So that's a lineup right there.
That's a lineup.
We will be there.
Looking forward to that. And Psychedelic Symphony playing again. There's a the Golden Thread art opening. Featured artist Jill Leslie Haack, Haack. So do I add an extra Hack? I don't know. Sandra Griffin also featured, and Psychedelic Symphony playing 5 to 8 at Mooneyham Arts, 305 State Street in Alton. Flip a Frog, they're going to be down at the new stage at Max downtown. And Psychedelic Symphony is also scheduled to play at noon at Shea, Maryland on Saturday.
They are
Jumpin'
busy.
John.
They're booked.
Busy.
Yeah.
Totally.
She's awesome. Johnny's awesome.
We
but-
Great
we know
singer.
from playing with Jumpin' Johnny, he loves to play.
He does.
Yeah.
And jump.
And jump. He loves to jump. We got Fritz Beer and Jen Chadwick at Bossa Nova from 7 to 10. Of course, Fritz Beer from the Bishops, right? And Porch Cafe is going to play again on Saturday at a Third Shoot in Alton.
Busy band.
What was the band Chadwick was in? Help me out. Was
Pickin'
it,
Daisies?
Yep.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think she might have been Tipsy Gypsies, too.
Tipsy
Yes.
Gypsies was the one I was actually thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were. She was in both.
So, yeah, she's going to whip out the fiddle with Fritz Beer. So that ought to be interesting. And then we got the Amwar 6th Annual Rockin' for Recovery out at Bethalto Central Park. And that's from 1 to 6 with Heartland Band and Rock Mafia, plus Dry Clean Only. I guess that's a band.
What a wonderful name.
Or possibly it's a pop-up dry cleaning place. I don't know.
Dry clean only.
Dry Clean Only.
Make sure you burn your laundry.
And the Food Truck Festival is happening down in Wood River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pizza joint's going to stop them this year. From what I hear. That place is no longer there. But Tracy Inman Band playing down there, 1 to 4. We've had Tracy on a few times. That's a very interesting story. Didn't know anything about playing music. Found a studio, and they wrote all the music for him. He just talked to him on the phone and told him a few lines of his song, and next thing you know, he had an entire album that's now getting played
Wow.
all over the place, including he figured out how to get his music on those jukeboxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he talks about that in one of our episodes.
Oh.
He's really good at just
He might-
bugging people.
Might have
Sounds like a good self-promoter, yeah.
For sure, for sure. So been fun to watch
Nobody
Tracy.
promotes you better than yourself.
For sure.
You know, maybe RCA Records.
Good band
If
out
they're
at
still around.
good band of young kids out at Bakers and Hale on Saturday. Merge 5.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're graduated yet. So
I got to see footage of them. They were showing it, and I was like, wow. I mean, that was actually footage that Bakers and Hale, you know, someone got on their phone, and they're like, look at these guys. So they actually put it on Facebook for people to watch.
yeah,
Yeah. They've not
Toxic
done that to us yet. So we gotta up our
Toxic
game.
Johnny got them together, and
did now?
yeah, from he teaches at
Oh,
Swing
okay.
City,
Yeah, yeah.
and so they were students, and yeah, pretty
They
cool
they got a lot of attitude.
for sure. Fall Fest happening in Brighton this weekend at Schneider Park, 7 to 11. City Heat going to be up there.
Jeff Tolley.
Good for them, yeah.
Yeah, how come City Heat hasn't been at BushFest? They cost too much.
They're booked. You know,
They're playing all the time. Have you seen their schedule?
I know, I know.
They're
They're
everywhere.
like old school Cottonmouth, man. You can't. They're always booked.
Yeah, well, once you start, sometimes people are calling left and right. I don't know why. Probably because we were cheap, but
Now they actually had said something about wanting to play. There's a couple people. Scott and Michelle I've been wanting to have.
yeah.
Yeah. And they've always talked like they want to, but it's just never. Every time we tell them ahead of time,
You
it's
talk
like,
about busy.
yeah.
Yeah.
They book a lot of
They do.
City Heat too. Yeah.
Yep. I talked to Michelle recently. They're the ones that got Bonnie Bramlett on the air for us,
Oh, no kidding.
which
Wow.
is our
Delaney and Bonnie.
yeah
What a band.
our most famous guest of all time.
Yeah.
Bonnie Bramlett.
Yeah, Eric Clapton calls her up.
No way.
Yeah, for sure. There's no one bigger in this area than Bonnie Bramlett. Now, a lot of people go, who?
Yeah.
Oh,
But people who know don't.
Yeah. Right. Right.
For sure.
I listened
Legend.
to that interview.
she was an Ikette.
Right, first white Ikette. She was underage, so she couldn't travel with them because it wasn't allowed to have a white girl cross state lines with a,
Oh, I remember hearing that.
with a black group. So
Story, yeah.
she headed out to California, started Delaney and Bonnie. That's the short version.
Yeah.
She was on Roseanne for a little while. And like I said, everyone in the industry knew who Bonnie Bramlett was.
Right.
And including,
Michelle did too, I guess, huh?
well, she grew up, Scott,
Yeah.
right, was neighbors with Bonnie Bramlett. So she was born here in Alton, raised in Granite City, wasn't there very long, headed out to California. But here's the thing,
That's crazy. Yeah.
the Beatles call her up.
Yeah. Nuts.
So, if you're friends with the Beatles, beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
there's
can beat
right.
that?
Yeah.
If you haven't heard any Delaney and Bonnie music, the stuff that stuck was from 68 to 70, 71, and it's fantastic. There's so many bands that cover her music. Tedeschi Trucks.
Exactly.
The list is as long as my arm and twice as hairy. That you can definitely. She influenced a lot of different people. I'm a huge
Big
Delaney
time.
and Bonnie fan.
Yeah,
and I
and-
believe Delaney Bramlett should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we want a statue over here in Alton.
Here.
Yeah.
We do.
Good call. Yeah.
Because, Miles
People
Davis
know more
is,
about her. Yeah.
Miles Davis is good, but I don't know, Bonnie Bram might be bigger
Right.
in certain circles for sure.
Right.
Rock and roll.
she was
yeah.
friends with Jimmy and Janice,
Yeah. That's nuts.
Eric.
Eric
Harrison.
Clapton, George Harrison, all the Beatles. They
All
would
the big
actually
session players, Joe Gordon, Carl Radle.
they would call her in when they were having trouble with a vocalist not doing what they needed in the studio, and she would present it to the vocalist, and then they would be able to. So a
Right.
lot of the big recordings you've heard, Bonnie Bramlett was there to coach.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Like they knew that she knew how they wanted it to sound. But
Exactly.
they couldn't make it sound that way, so they had to bring her in there.
Yeah.
Because she knows. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, for sure. Just celebrated her 80th birthday.
Wow.
Love talking about Bonnie, and so yeah, that's happening. That's Scott and Michelle's neighbor, Bonnie Bramlett. Still down there, Granite City. She pops in at a Scott and Michelle gig every now and again.
Yeah.
It's about the only time you can catch her. We've tried to get her back on, but
She's low profile, I guess.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. She loves to support local music. That's the main thing she wants to do now. And unfortunately, recently had a stroke, but she's recovering, and so.
Yeah.
She, she
You're
wants.
making me want to look up that interview because I remember hearing it. I remember, making
Yeah.
a point to listen to that one.
It's online. It's on Riverbend.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
online. Yeah, Scrappy told me he's like, you got to hear this one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Krickett. Anyhow, but I was just starstruck. So horrible job of interviewing her, I will say. Because seriously, I
Did
was
you
just
stutter
like,
That's awesome. That's amazing.
for sure, man. I mean,
I can dig it though.
I went and seen her do a Christmas show, and she did "Mary, Did You Know?" Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps right now. It was so unbelievable, and her daughter was there,
Becca Bramlett.
Becca Bramlett, who sang with Fleetwood Mac for a while.
Wow,
Yeah, so legends, I'm telling you.
that's
Did the Stevie Clothes.
Wow.
So and then I talked about Fall Fest in Brighton. Day 2 is going to be Captain Keach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters, 2 to
Great
5
band.
at Schneider Park in Brighton on Sunday. So, like I said, there's always a ton going on in this area. But we're looking forward to October 3rd and 4th, the VFW Park in Godfrey, Brighton.
Godfrey Brighton.
And
Godfrey Brighton, right?
Bright Free.
if the cops show
It's
up,
on
you
the
can cross the border and get right into the other town.
That's right.
So it's not too
Jump
far.
on a boat and
They're pretty chill.
That's if Madison County doesn't.
get
Nah.
across the lake, and pretty soon you're fishing in a different county.
I was wondering if Mark Rice is still doing the open mic out there on Sundays. I haven't seen anything.
He slowed down. He just I think
was
he's
too hot.
taking a season off. It
It
just
was-
got to be
yeah.
too hot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We were
It's
having
hard
them
to keep that-
outside, and it was the heat. It was just
He was doing an open mic in Jerseyville.
yeah.
Was he? Like Uncle Al's or something?
Georgia's?
Sounds right.
George's.
George's,
Okay.
yeah.
I haven't heard about that. Mark's great, though. He promotes the music scene and does a
sure.
great job.
Always.
Mark and the Angry Hearts
He
opening it
loves
up.
He has a passion for it, that's for sure. I can talk about it with him until I'm tired, and he's still, I'm like, all right,
Still
yeah.
yapping.
That's for sure.
He'll be the first one. October 3rd, 420. The Lake Stage. Mark and the Angry Hearts. Then you scoot your butt over to the main stage for the Mad Baileys at 5:30. Brian Maloney back on the Lake Stage at 6:30. Sometimes it's foggy, sometimes it's clear. Josh Grassley and company, 7:30 on the main stage. Owen Weber, 8:30 at the Lake Stage on the Friday night opener. Then Liver Jones and the Flatworms, fresh off their 5th release. 9:30. Peace Lords, but who's buying? That's what I call them. Milo Granick, one of the inventors of rap music. Maybe not quite inventor, but he goes way back in hip hop, like
Does he really?
early days,
Huh.
New York City.
Crazy.
I forget the name of the group, but yeah, for real. Like he goes way back, early days of hip hop. We talked to him once when you guys, I think it was maybe one of the first BushFests
Yeah.
he played.
Yep. They've always impressed me. I mean, I didn't know what to expect the first time I heard them, and it's like, you guys are welcome back anytime. And
Yeah.
he's one of those guys that kind of hounds me. He's like, when is it? And when are we playing? And he just wants to make sure he's locked in.
Yeah,
But we got to hear him at Trinity Fest, and yeah, they got a good sound. Yeah.
right. Then wrapping up Friday night, Spillie Nelson.
Yeah.
And they
Spillie
might
Nelson.
play right into Saturday morning.
Guaranteed
They
they
will.
Those guys got some energy.
They
yeah.
will.
Yeah. And 11:30 is like not a late start time.
They are known for 40-minute
Dries-
songs.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Right.
But
Just
yeah,
playing
it's
until hours.
Under the Stars Festival.
Yeah.
It was, it was a rainy July, if you remember, and they played Saturday, and it started raining, and it was people kind of crowding underneath the pavilion. They probably played for an hour and a half, maybe longer, and it just poured. And then as soon as it cleared up, people were still there, and kind of finding a way to just hang out. And as soon as because the DJ kept playing Billy Walker, and so Billy Walker was playing music, and you could still hear it. And then all of a sudden, I heard the drums, And you can tell Andrew Crane when he gets when he gets on the drums, he's pretty distinct. And I could tell, I'm like, dang it, I was like, I think they're going to get up and play. And I was just tired enough, I wasn't sure if I wanted to. I was like, I'm going to have to go down there and check them out if they're, because you could hear music and they were jamming. It's like that's not a DJ. And went down there and they played for another hour and a half. I mean, it was late, and they played right up until it rained again. It stormed, and everything, all the equipment got wet, but nothing got damaged.
The area's best jam band.
And of course, the weather is going to be perfect on October 3rd and 4th.
That's why we do it on the harvest moon. The full moon is like, I don't know.
Wow.
Like, I think it's the Farmer's Almanac.
I don't know if you've
that
ever
told me
noticed
it
that.
doesn't
That's how
rain
we-
then.
I had no idea.
That's how we schedule it.
Harvest full moon, yeah.
First time I've heard this, and I've been
Seriously?
probably.
Well, at least since we've been together. I
I
don't know about pre-me.
I proposed to her sometime between 2015 and 2017, but it was a full moon. 16. So
There's a
right,
2-year
right in the
window
middle there.
there.
I'd say.
On October, you don't remember
It was a harvest moon.
He's in trouble now. He doesn't remember when you proposed.
Was
You're in
close.
big trouble, Doug.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember either.
Ah.
Well, I knew I knew because
It was on October 29th, 2016
it
at
was a harvest
BushFest.
moon.
At BushFest in a bounce house.
And I was in
That
less
was for my
trouble then
birthday?
than I am now.
I do remember that story.
Yeah.
The bounce house part just totally triggered it. I do remember that
Super
story.
classy proposal.
Now, you raised a question, Krickett. You brought up Harvest Moon, and now I must ask you, are you a witch?
I get that often.
So many people ask her.
Are you Wicca?
It is that time of year.
How can you tell if she's a witch?
I don't know. That's
Is she
why I
made
just,
of wood?
Wha or buh?
Will
the
she
eyes.
float in water?
you know me, I ask the tough questions.
It's the
Yeah.
eyes.
It is.
Okay,
We'll
so,
never tell.
okay, well,
You know what happened to them.
that might be a good idea, right? So, anyways, I was going to get to Saturday before we wrap things up. Saturday, October 4th. Jimi Hendrix in the Experience, a master of the electric guitar, but Justus in the Experience, the master of the ukulele.
Yes.
So he'll kick things off at noon on the lake stage, followed by Bog. Look him up as Bog House Band, right, on Facebook. 12:50. I'll be doing that later. This next one I want you to announce, would you? Cerebral Anomaly.
You mean?
I
Make
know,
fun of her.
I am. 140 on the lake stage. Cerebral Anomaly. I did that just for you. Kind of a mouthful. That was totally a joke. You didn't know that?
Sure it was.
I can say psychedelic. I can say psychedelic.
You didn't see my hand switching down here.
Yeah. I think there was a bit of a curse on me.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the main stage, 220, Psychedelic Symphony. They'll probably have a gig that morning at noon and probably another one later that night.
Right?
True
You
that.
speak true words.
So, yeah, you catch him at 220 on the main stage. And then Mathew Murder is what I'm calling him.
Mathew Murder.
3:30,
So rock and
or
roll.
is that at 2? 3:30, I think. Mathew Murder. Close enough by then.
Sometime.
Right.
320.
And then 410 back on the main stage. Like a switch.
Like a switch, yeah.
Can I read my writing? I think I can.
Switch from Bridgeton, Missouri. They're probably their 4th or 5th. But those guys are good. They put on a great show.
All right. And then back to the lake stage, 510. Scott Andrews, your buddy, Kevin.
Great guy. What a show.
Pilot. See a
Former
pilot?
Barnstormer.
Former pilot, former aircraft mechanic, just retired. Like I said, all original.
Okay.
You will know none of his songs, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him, but I'd like to.
Please do.
How about Krickett and the Grilled Avocado, 6 o'clock
Plus a couple.
on the main
Troubadours.
stage?
There are several troubadours that will be joining in. We'll have saxophone player probably.
Yeah.
We
And if-
might
if
try
Milo-
Lorenzo or
If Milo Granick's
Kevin
still
Angel.
around, he'll jump up there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would be really tasty.
I think that's kind of the Peace Lord's thing. They do invite people up to play.
Yeah.
From what he
Yeah.
told us.
That's
All
the
are
fun
welcome.
stuff. That's when it gets really spicy.
And I mean, look how many musicians are at this event. I mean, it could definitely happen.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we need to do like a multi-band jam, really.
We've always talked about it, but
Yeah.
we've never glued that together.
Yeah, that's true.
It's hard enough getting 20 bands together
Yeah.
on the
yeah.
same night or two.
Hard enough to
Same
get 20
stage.
people in the same room.
Right, for sure.
Definitely.
So where were we? Oh, we were at Krickett and the Grilled Avocados. Did I say Krickett and the Grilled Avocados? 6
did.
o'clock on the main stage. Krickett and the Grilled Avocados.com. And
KGA.
what's up, Gatekeeper? You like that
Hi.
one? You like
I'm
that?
sorry. I just when someone's speaking, I make eye contact.
I'm checking you out over there, seeing if I got some kind of vibe going down.
My bad.
I don't want to make the gatekeeper mad.
You don't.
You don't want to get in the
No.
got to get in the show. Anyways, then we go back to the lake stage for Datura.
Datura.
So here's a question I had: the difference between the main stage and the lake stage. Now, see, I've seen some acoustic acts. I want to say played like at the cabin thing,
Yeah.
on the porch. So not doing that. We
Nah,
got
we're going to keep them dope. The thing about it is nobody wants to walk back up the hill.
Ah.
So they'll just stay down there and listen. So mostly it was not a good experience for the players.
Okay.
You know, so it had some of them that are just like, yeah, we want to be down by the lake if we play. So it's like everybody wants to play Saturday at 7:30 down by the lake.
So there'll be 2 stages, and all you have to do is just turn your chair.
Or just your head, depending on
or
where
just
you
your
sit.
head 90
nice,
degrees.
nice.
Yes.
So Datura got the slot, 7 o'clock down by the lake.
There it
Yep.
is. That just happened.
And then
guys.
HOOKiE.
It just happened.
HOOKiE Monster follows them up at 8 o'clock. And they'll be at the main stage, and then 1781 back at the lake, and then Modern Pasta wrapping things up at 11:15, unless Agents of the Free decides to play.
That's right.
All right, that's it. October 3rd and 4th. And it's all for a good cause. Going to raise some money to help out a person in need.
Yeah, we're going to have
Debbie.
long sleeve BushFest shirts this year, which
Well, yep.
we have always
Short
just
and
had
long.
T-shirts, but yeah, long and short.
Yeah.
Heavy on the
Stoked about
merch.
that. Yep.
We need
So,
those.
no excuse for not showing up to this one, folks. You get a 2-day pass for $50, and it helps out a lady in need, Debbie. And if you can only make it one day, they got that fixed for you as well. Friday night, 25:30, right, Gatekeeper?
Yep.
The gatekeeper is on top. Everybody knows too. Everybody that's been there a few times are like, man, don't play with, Gabby the gatekeeper.
She'll cut you.
I will cut you.
The song "Am I Evil" is going through my head right now.
She won't leave her post. Like,
No,
she-
I won't even go to the bathroom.
Yeah, she won't.
I'll be up
We
there
need to put
all
a
the time.
Johnny
Wow.
spot.
No.
Johnny on the spot
That's a
right
bit
there by
much.
the tank.
Her mother was a witch.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Quite my life.
Anyhow. That's it. That's another edition of Riverbend Talent. We're talking to the Bushfesters. October 3rd and 4th. Get out there, folks, and support Alpha Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Voors of Macias Insurance, because they bring you what's going on around the Riverbend each and every week, going on year number 10 in May. We'll start that'll be the 10th year anniversary, I believe. So they've been with us pretty much the whole time, so we appreciate them supporting local music and art, as well as you, all our listeners who tune in to find out what's going on around the Riverbend. Of course, if you want to find out, you can go to cottonmouth.org, where the list is there for you. And if you're a band or want to figure out where to play and all that kind of information, well, that's another good place for you to go to find that kind of stuff out. And that's going to put a wrap on this one. Do you know how we wrap up the show? You guys remember how to do that?
I think we just say bye.
Thanks for having us.
I've never been here.
You don't have to know,
Yeah.
Gatekeeper.
I get a pass.
But Pigpen always says the magic words. Because
Oh yes. What is it? I don't want to say it wrong, so go ahead.
get out and
Yeah,
support
Local music.
local music
and art.
and art.